Welcome back to Melly Loves Death Metal. This is part 2 of my birthday haul. Part 1 was posted yesterday. I showed off a ton of tapes that I got as a massive binge buy from my birthday. That was a couple of weeks ago. I also got a little bit of a bonus from work, so I paid off a bunch of bills, got current on things, and then treated myself to a bunch of stuff that I wanted. So including this Corpus Awful shirt. A couple people were asking about it. $20 spin. Go buy it. It's awesome. I chose the cream colored shirt because I always buy black, and I figured, you know what, I'm expanding my wardrobe to not just wear black t-shirts. So awesome shirt, printed I believe by Pyre Press. They print awesome things. So in the background, if you can hear it, I'll turn it a tiny bit up so it's not too loud. The new Vulvectomy album is playing in the background. Came out this year. Abhorrent Vaginal Gestation. So this is just background noise to drown out my loud family who are home because it's summer break. So, but this is part 2. This is the vinyl records that I got from my birthday haul. A bunch of just random hole fillers, as I like to call it, and a couple of new releases and stuff. And so I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm doing this off the cuff. I don't have any notes written up or anything. I just was not in the mood to write it all up and talk about it. I unboxed all of these things yesterday when I got home from vacation. Actually, oddly enough, I'm home for 2 days and then I'm going away again to go on vacation with my family now. But we're staying in Florida. We're just going to the beach in Florida here, but we're staying in a summer a beach house rental with my family, my parents and my sister and nephews and stuff like that. But I have a couple of days to get caught up on everything that I've ordered from the past several weeks. They all came in yesterday. Well, the post office held all of my packages while I was out, and they dropped everything off yesterday in this massive box. My wife just looked at me and just like, my God. But it's been a while since I've done something like this. It's been well over a year since I've gone and just splurged and bought a lot of things. This is going to hold me over for a very long time now. I got a lot of stuff to listen to. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's something that I don't ever buy. Until recently, I started... Man, I told myself I would never do this. I would never do this because I hate collecting these things. But I made a little box down here to hold them and all this stuff. But I got a bunch of 7 inches. I'm not a fan of collecting 7 inches. They just don't fit on my shelf. I rarely ever listen to them if I do get them. But I've started collecting full discographies for some of my favorite bands, and funny enough, Hemorrhage is one of them, and there's a lot of 7 inches in Hemorrhage discography, and that's kind of what started getting me into collecting 7 inches now. So let's go ahead and get started, like I just said. So this is a new release that just came out on Gurgling Gore, Grindhead, Grindfather, Lycanthropic Chance. I can't say that word. I'm tongue-tied, so it's hard for me to say things. But anyway, this is a new split between 2 bands one band I'm only familiar with, and that is Pulmonary Fibrosis, this logo right here, and the other band is Repulsive Feast. So this is a gore grind, noise grind, grindcore split between that came out. Gurgling Gore was teasing it as a release coming up, and I went and I listened to it on Bandcamp because it was already out, I think, on Grindhead. And I listened to it and I really liked it. So I waited for Gurgling Gore to put their pre-order up, or their orders up, because I didn't have to pay for the international shipping. But Pulmonary Fibrosis is a gore grind band out of France, and their discography is huge. Just tons and tons and tons and tons of splits. In fact, they've got several splits that have come out this year, but this one is called Fetish of Gore. And they each have 2 tracks, so it's a very, very small split. So it's only 11 minutes long. And then Repulsive Feast is a band out of Germany. This is like a death grindy, more grind band. They have a couple of EPs and then this split in a demo. So I'm pretty new to this band. So this came in several different color copies. There's blue, yellow, pink, or magenta, and then maybe I think black. I chose the magenta or pink. I actually asked my wife, said which one should I get, and she told me this one. So I couldn't decide between this and yellow. So, and then it's just a nice little fold out card stock. Both of the songs and lyrics and whatever else. And then on the back, here's all of the releases. I believe this is still available. I don't know if this sold out yet. Maybe it did. I'm not too sure. It was still available when I ordered it, but I know that they were running low. At least that Grindhead was. So I was trying to see. The artwork is done by Doodles of Death. I'm not too familiar with who that is. I'll have to look into it. I like this artwork though. I really like this artwork. Goes really well. So this is a really good split. So I've been getting into gore grind and grind again lately. I've been kind of digging into it, finding new stuff, collecting old stuff that I know that I liked. Not a genre that I know shit about, so I absolute dog shit when it comes to it. It's also very hit or miss for me. I don't always enjoy everything that I hear. And then here is the little record, but I do quite enjoy this a lot, so I was happy to get this. So I'll link in the description for you guys to go listen to it and where you can buy it. Again, it's both US and international releases, so it should be pretty easy for anybody to get if it's still available. So yeah, that was the first 7-inch. The second 7 inches I got were from Iron Fortress. This is part of the massive package that I talked about in my past video. You know, I just saw them there. One of them I absolutely really wanted to finish off my collection for this band, but the other two I just threw in there because they were good prices and I liked them and whatever else. So this was the one that I was hunting. Putridarium and Trollcave split, swallowed by Rottenness. So I was trying to finish out my Putridarium collection. That's like one of my favorite bands right now, and this was the only thing I did not own, mostly because it was, I think this only came out on 7-inch vinyl. I might be completely wrong about that, but I've never been able to find it until Ben had it up in his distro. So let me pull up the information about it, when it came out, etc., etc. Putridarium, you guys know, Death Doom band out of Germany. I absolutely love this band. Their release last year was just chef's kiss, one of my favorite releases to come out, and I still listen to it all the time. This one came out in 2024 as well, so this was last year. Trollcave is another awesome band who I've talked about several times here, from Spain, Funeral, Death Doom. They also have Mark is in this band, who is also in Cauterized Torso, Crucifixion, Exhumation, Sanctuarium. He's in a bunch of shit. So that's also this band. So these two bands I absolutely love, but I mostly wanted this. Well, actually, this finished my Trollcave collection too, because I now have everything. So again, this was on the distro in Iron Fortress. Again, the one-stop shop. This was put out by 7 Metal Inches of record. 7 Metal Inches records. So I've got a lot of these now in my collection, and I really like the way that they press these. They're really nice, really nice quality. So let me pull up where 7 is from. 7 Metal Inches records. Well, for whatever reason, that's like hard for me to say. Summarize from the website. Oops, nope, get out of here. AI, Jesus Christ. Where are you from? You got Euros, so you're over across the pond there. I don't exactly remember where you're from. Let's go to your Bandcamp. That's what it'll say. Pretty sure it's the UK. Oh, it's Germany. So yeah. So they've put out a ton of stuff, and I actually think most of them showing today are from them. There's the Piss Rot 7-inch soaked in slop. There's Dismember, which is coming up. Leprophiliac Tenebro I showed in a previous video. Rot Pit. Ooh, they've got Rot Pit. Flesh Rot. There's a ton of releases that they've put out, so including this one. So a really nice quality jacket here, which you don't always get with 7 inches. Like I said, you get that, sometimes you get that fold over cardboard. Both sides of this split are very good, very good, awesome songs. Just, again, two amazing bands that I've been super into lately, just kind of obsessing over, honestly, especially Putridarium. Do not forget, stay death, stay doom. So this one, and I actually saw that Anthony over at Metal Miners recently showed this in his 7-inch collection update, and so that also kind of made me want to hunt this a little bit more. A little bit of FOMO there. And then it came on this like gray with very slight black splatter. So yeah, this is a very good split. I've listened to it several times digitally, just never had it on a physical format, so now I have it. I'm going to spin it today. I'm actually going to spin a bunch of 7 inches today, which I don't ever do. I told myself I'm going to start buying these things, I'm going to actually play them. I'm not going to just sit and collect dust like they have previously. I have a lot of 7 inches, so maybe I'll do similar to what Anthony did and show off all my 7 inches. A lot of them have just been given to me throughout the years of collecting, and I just never sold them or got rid of them because, again, so yeah, Trollcave and Putridarium. Sorry, my phone was buzzing. I was making sure it wasn't a emergency. So yeah, there we go. That was the second one that I got the first one in that Iron Fortress package. The next one was this one, another 7 Metal Inches Records release. This is Dismembered. Skin Her Alive. So there's actually another one called Carnal Tomb that they also released for Dismember, which Iron Fortress has it on their distro, so I'll probably snag that in my next order just to round this out. But yeah, we all know Dismember. I don't need to talk about this band. You guys all know who Dismember are, right? Like, if you're watching this channel, I would be really, really sad if you were watching this and you didn't know who Dismember were. I mean, then again, if you're like brand new to death metal, you're coming, like you're very young, maybe you don't know, but that's not most of my audience. Most of my audience is white males between the ages of 30 and 60. Shout out to that, to the old heads there. I have very little people, like I have some people in the 20s. Like I look at my demographics all the time. I'm in data analytics, like engineering data analytics. That's what my career is. So I find that interesting. Anyway, Dismember, Swedish death metal. Yeah. Skin Her Alive is a single that came out back in 1991. So yeah, they just reissued this. There you go. Again, very, very nice quality, hard, heavy card stock for the cover. And then this came on like a green, transparent, whatever there. So it's got the single Skin Her Alive, and then on the other side, Defective Decay. So awesome, awesome tracks. I don't know what other colors this came out on. I just grabbed what was ever on Iron Fortress distro, but I've seen this around. A lot of people have shown this. Actually, did this sell out, Ben, when you first put this in your distro? I feel like this was a restock or something, because I think I went to go buy this a while back and I noticed it was sold out. I don't remember, but yeah, so I got to get the other one. I love that artwork when it's not credited. Yeah, it's not credited anywhere. I don't remember who did the artwork. I'll have to look. But yeah, 7 metal, what are you called again? 7 Metal Inches Records. I need to go get some more. A huge fan of this label that's reissuing these. So yeah, awesome stuff. Okay, so that was the second one that I got in that order. The sleeves are a little tight, but that's okay. That's what she said. Anyway, and then finally the last one is, again, I could have gotten this directly from Tank Crimes, but I just threw it in the package, and that is Haggus, No End in Suffering. So I am not going to try and collect all of the Haggus stuff. I think they have a fairly lengthy discography. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Holy shit, they do. But this is an EP that came out in 2024. I figured it's available. It's there. I like Haggus. Pretty much everything I've ever heard by them is amazing. Especially their new album. Their new album is so good. I've been listening to it a ton. Gonna be a top contender this year for show. But they have 1,000 EPs and splits out. I don't even want to try to collect them all. But this was there, so I grabbed it, pressed on Tank Crimes, and you gotta love that artwork. So, again, not going to try to collect all the Haggus 7 inches. That would take me a lot of money. Similar to, like, Hemorrhage, I'm still not, I thought I was so close, but I went back and I looked at my Discogs, and there's about 5 or 6 that I'm still missing, so. Okay, so again, this is another, like, fold-out cardboard. There's the band, credits, lyrics, and then other side there. So Tank Crimes, this is still available. I've seen this on Tank Crimes' website, but again, like I said, Ben had it, so I just threw it in there because I didn't own it yet. I have the other one. About to show that in a minute. And this was the half and half split, red and black. I think there was a couple of color variants on this, I don't remember, but this is just what Ben had in the distro, so I grabbed it. And it goes well with the album cover and stuff, so Roger, look away. You're seeing a lot of color vinyl in this update. Apologies. Okay. So I grabbed that. This is very good. Very good EP. Very, very good. I do want to get more Haggus, but again, not going to go and try and collect it all. That's insane. They actually reissued, was it their demos? I feel like that was circulating on cassette tape, so I might try to get those, but yeah. So there's that one. So that was the Iron Fortress package that I got. There's actually one other record that I'm about to show, but that was the 7 inches in there. And then finally one more 7 inch. I grabbed this directly, I believe I got this directly from Tank Rhymes. Well, now I don't remember. Maybe I bought it on Discogs because it was super cheap. I don't remember now. But anyway, I bought this too, the Other Haggus. So this is the 3 cadavers, 2 corpses, and a carcass. I absolutely love that title. When did this come out now? When did this come out? Let's find it on my Metal Archives looking for it. A while ago, I think, because I... Alright, let's... 3? No? 3? Where is it? This band accepted into Metal Archives based on 3 Day. Oh, that's funny. That's what put them into Metal Archives. So this was an EP that, okay, 2024, Tank Crimes. So yeah, 12 minutes, 6 tracks. So again, I just grabbed this. Not gonna try to collect all the EPs or anything like that, but it was available and I snagged it. I'm pretty sure I got this directly through Tank Crimes. I think. I don't remember now. So if I bought this from you and I'm saying it wrong, apologies. But again, another cardboard, like fold over. I like the foldovers. Some people complain about it, but I like them. Amazing artwork here. Amazing artwork. Look at that. So good. Does it say who did the artwork on here? For all inquiries, yeah. Mixed and mastered, yeah. This whole album is dedicated to the homie Rosalie. Okay. Oh my god. Artwork by Pierre de Palmas. Brain Dead Zine. Cool. I'm gonna have to look into him. Really cool stuff. And then this was on green. This like very fluorescent green. Artwork is on that side, so yeah. Really nice 7 inches. Again, I just started getting into collecting these. This might be a bad thing for me because I know there's a lot of like classic death metal, 90s death metal 7 inches that I would absolutely love to have in the collection, like the Seraphic Decay ones, but those are super expensive and I'm not going to spend $300 on a 7 inch. But you know, these nice reissues that are coming out and some newer releases, yeah, I'll snag them. So good stuff. So that was the 7 inches. Wow, 20 minutes to show all of those. I think I was talking a little bit too much. All right, so all the 7 inches, they get put into a special box that I made down there for them. So I'll put those off to the side. I gotta rearrange my desk here. I've got shit all over the place. Okay. So next is a birthday gift that I got from my brother-in-law. I actually forgot. I have like a wish list on Amazon, and it's just pretty much all vinyl for the most part. And I forgot this was on there. I actually forgot about this release, and I really, really quite enjoy it. And that is Rotten Sound with Apocalypse. Rotten Sound is a band that I've literally never talked about on here, and I guess it's funny that he got me this because this is this like grindcore, gore grind is like what I've been listening to a lot lately and diving into. So this is a grindcore band out of Finland. Classic grindcore band. One of my favorites, I guess you could say. But I don't own any of their stuff. And this actually came out back in 2023. Kind of a slept-on release for me, but I really enjoyed it. So apparently I put this on my wish list. Came out on Season of Mist. Really nice gatefold. They always do a really nice gatefold. I feel like this was slept on a little bit when it came out. I know in my group chat, like we talked about how good it was. And it's just on classic black. So yeah, cool birthday present. I'm going to spin this today. I have not listened to this since it came out, but I do remember enjoying it a lot. So yeah, Rotten Sound. They have a bunch of other stuff out, but this is their most recent release. I need to go back and like dive more into them. kind of a slept on band for me. But yeah, so I got that. Okay, this one, let me pull it up so I can give you all of the information here. This was announced while I was on vacation, and I snagged it as soon as I saw that it was announced. So this is the very first time on vinyl. Crucifixes, Classes, Texas Death Metal Demo. From 1994, Barriers. So this is a very like underground 90s death metal band that I feel like maybe not a whole lot of people know about, but funny enough, I had this on my want list for a very long time. I was kind of hunting this for a while, and then I saw Burning Dogma press this on wax, and it has their 1992 Burials demo, and then also has their 94 demo on here. So it's the very first time it's ever been on vinyl. There was 2 different versions of it. There was 100 on black and then 150 on random mix, not eco mix, just random mix vinyl. So I picked the random mix, of course. So this is still available. There's still copies of this available. I will link in the description where you can get it. But yeah, this is just some classic Texas death metal, 90s Texas death metal. Oh, look at that shiny ass jacket. Look at that. I'm so pumped that I have this. I'm going to spin this today and just, it smells good too. I love the way sometimes vinyl just has a really good smell to it. And then here is the random mix. It's like a purpley, blue, white, like mergey color. It's alright. I mean, whatever. Maybe I could have just gotten black, but I was curious to see like which one I was going to get. But yeah. Awesome stuff. I love Burning Dogma. They're that other Texas death metal label that I buy from quite often. So yeah, this is still available. I will link the Bandcamp to go listen to this. Just some classic 90s obscure underground Texas death metal that I am super pumped that I now have in my collection. I was playing this on Bandcamp after I bought it while I was on vacation. Just super excited to get it. So happy. I love collecting the obscure death metal, and there are channels now like Dr. Messick, Kyle from Maimed and Sewer Rot, and Welcome to Hell, and Roy from Death Metal Podcast, that just and all of those channels that just are making it so fun to re-listen to these things and to immerse myself into it. So yeah, good stuff right there. Okay, so this is the final thing that I got from that massive package from Iron Fortress. So I mentioned in my Tenebro collection that Mortuary Ghoul is another band that I've been trying to collect all of the formats and stuff, because it's like another one of my modern favorite death metal bands that's horror movie themed. So yeah, I finished it. So now I'm going and getting the vinyls from Mortuary Ghoul and the CDs. For the most part, I got most of the CDs, and there's a couple cassette tapes that I still own. But yeah, you know, I had to finish out the Norman trifecta. I've got the special VHS cassette tape version. I've got the CD right here. And now I've bought the vinyl record. So this was put out by Dismal Fate. As you know, Ben had this in the distro. Also, Corpse Crystal is now distroing this stuff. So I finally I bit the bullet and I got it. So Iron Fortress has a point system now where you get a percentage off of your order after you order a certain amount of whatever. And I had, it's like 10 or 15% off. So I threw this in there because I was already a big package, and I figured, why not? It's my birthday. I've been wanting this. So I've talked about this 1,000 times on here. I will just show you the record here. And I'm not the first one to show this off on here. So that's actually Mortuary Matt's picture on his Instagram. It cracks me up. So you guys know Norman Bates Motel. You know what this is based around. Just that movie freaked me the fuck out when I was little. And now I listen to this and I'm like, yeah, pretty cool. I really love this album. This is my favorite Mortuary Ghoul album so far. So there's vacancy in room 1 and Mortuary Ghoul has checked in. And again, classic black. I think this was there black and white? I don't remember. But this is what was available. Classic black. So Yeah, and this sleeve is interesting. And Roger, if you're watching this, I feel like you use these sleeves too. They're like a very thick plastic. I don't know, I've never seen these sleeves before. I thought that was interesting. I was going to toss it and just use my normal sleeves that I have, but I kind of like it. It's very thick. So, yeah, Mortuary Ghoul. Alright. So, oh God, my phone is still going off again. What's going on here? Okay. So, continuing on with the Mortuary Ghoul. We were driving from Florida to North Carolina. I was laying in a hotel bed. Everybody was asleep and I couldn't sleep. I have a really tough time sleeping in hotels sometimes, especially when we're doing like road trips and stuff. So I was just awake and I was hunting on Discogs and whatever else and listening to Mortuary Ghoul, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna snag this too because I saw it. It was like $20 on Acid Redo. Or Redux, Acid Redux, which is who put this out, and I finally grabbed Friends with the Dead as well on vinyl. So I now have this on record and cassette. I believe, did Dismal Fate put out CD? Did Dismal Fate put out the cassette for this? But I don't know, I'm hunting the cassette now for this. But I grabbed this because it was cheap, and I figured, you know what, let's add it to the collection. I'm buying stuff for my birthday, why not? So yeah, Acid, do you say Redux or Redo? I don't know how to say it, but I've ordered from them several times in the past, mostly like on distros and stuff like that, but I directly ordered from them this time around because again, it was cheap. Here's the innard, and they also threw in a bunch of stickers and stuff, but they also threw in this free CD for me, North American Grind Freaks, a tribute to Unholy Grave. I got number 86 out of 500. It's still sealed. I have not listened to it yet. It's a compilation, but I noticed there's a couple bands on here that I'm obviously familiar with. Melting Rot was the first one that I saw. PLF is another one. I'm not, like I said, huge into grind. I don't know a whole lot about it, but this looks like a pretty good comp, so I'll be listening to that. So thanks for that. And then I got whatever vinyl color this was, like Land Filth or something like that. I can't remember. Flesh something. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool orange and yellow splatter. So there we go. The Mortuary Ghoul vinyl collection is now in full effect. I think this might be the only, there might be one other one. I don't remember. I'm tracking it on Discogs. So yeah, there's a couple of other things I still need to get. But yeah. Awesome stuff. Pumped that I have that. And then finally, the last two things to show you guys. This was a Meteor Gem bundle that I ordered, and I showed a couple of cassettes that they sent me as well. It has been a very long time since I've ordered from Meteor Gem, and that is mostly because a lot of the stuff they get in now, I'm just buying directly from the labels, and I've noticed that that's been a reason, whereas before they were releasing stuff that I hadn't gotten through the labels and like missed out on and was just like seeking out because I knew they were going to get it in their distro. But I actually had these previously, and I sold them when I sold off my collection a little over a year ago, and regretted it because I love these albums. And so I bought them back because they had a bundle where both of these were like 40 something bucks together, and then I bought a couple of cassette tapes as well. So this is Gusador, a band, they're from Russia, right? I talked about them 100 times on here back when these came out. But I had these a while back, and I regretted selling them because I do really love, yeah, they're from Russia, death metal band from Russia. So this is Morbid, Despotic Ritual, their full length that came out back in 2021. Was it Rotted Life, I think, that put it out? And I believe I had the cassette tape. Yeah, I had the cassette tape, and then I also bought the vinyl version. So MSUL reissued this, so I grabbed this because, again, I didn't have it anymore, and I was sad about it. So this is the reissue here that was put out by, there goes Split Release. So yeah. Hello? You still playing? There you go. I don't know, some sound clip. Anyway, this is just such a good release. This band is so good. One of the best underground death metal bands they really need to release some more music. It's been a while. I know they have a split that came out and then the EP that came out last year, but man, I cannot wait for a full length. And it's just classic black. And then the next thing that I snagged in that, because they do like these bundles where they throw in the same like artists bundles or whatever, and they had this on their site. So yeah, then I also got the Gusador Malignant Altar split. So I actually had this on cassette tape, and then did I like trade it off or something? Because I wasn't the biggest fan of this split when it first came out, but now I've since gone back and listened to it. Especially I'm missing Malignant Altar right now. Like that band is no longer active, and some amazing underground death metal music there. But so I finally snagged it back because I saw it was a bundle for this. So yeah, this was a split that came out back in 2022. It's a good split now. It has clicked now, and this was again another split release between MSUO and Rotted Life. So you guys know this. Everybody has shown this off. I showed it off when I first got it on cassette back then, but yeah. So I got it back in the collection. One of those things that I regretted getting rid of a while back. So I finally got it back in the collection. And again, just classic black. So that's it. That is my huge birthday haul in 2 parts. Part 1 was yesterday, so go ahead and check it out. I'll link it in the description, or you can just go back to my channel and find it. Lots of amazing stuff here. I will link everything so you can go listen to it. Most of this stuff is still available somewhere here or there. I don't think I showed anything that's like sold out at all. But yeah, 7 inches. You're going to be seeing a lot more of these, unfortunately, because I've been hunting them now. I'm tired. These videos took up a lot of my time for like the last hour and a half I've been recording these videos. It's a lot of talking. So happy to be back. And I've got a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of stuff has been lined up for months now, and it's all finally coming to that time of where I can talk about it and announce it and whatever else. But one final thing, the pre-orders for my t-shirts, they end on the 25th. That is, what, Friday? Is that Friday? Yes. So I'll link in the comments where to go. Marty Bindern is printing them for me, and then I have another one lined up that I'm really excited to announce. So that's coming soon too. So that's all I have. I will see you guys in the next one.